Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So before I begin the message, okay, I was reading something on Quora about the things that you should never tell, the secrets you should never reveal about yourself, okay? And not everybody is going to resonate with this message, okay? Only people who go against those rules will resonate with this message. And let me see if I can find certain points. Where was I at? It says things to keep secret. All right. It's pulling up, y'all. It's pulling up. It says, don't share your plans with anyone. Don't talk about the intimate details of your lifestyle. Never talk about the heroic, how heroic you are. Never declare how enlightened you are. Never talk about family problems. And don't bring up unpleasant things you have heard. You're a person that goes against all of this. Okay, so here's why. So as I was reading people's comments here, right? Some people said 100. Some people liked it. There was one that stood out. It says, all because people are evil who want to believe they're good until you share all these things and it challenges their own perspective of themselves. They need to keep thinking that they are good by punishing you and you're bad for not keeping your own life to yourself. They need good. Oh, it says that good old switcheroo. That comment stood out the most because it was the opposite of what everyone else was saying here. Okay. So you can just be on a different frequency than most people around you. You can be someone who has drifted away from the hierarchy or societal norms, even though these are things that can help save you or give you a better life. Hold on, y'all. Okay, and I am back. So for those of you who are on the opposite end of the should nots and you still do, there's a reason for everything, okay? Maybe there are some things that you will incorporate so that way you can keep peace in your life amongst others that do not have peace from themselves. But like I said, that response to the message of what you should keep to yourself and the person who said that, it kind of stood out, may just have a different way of seeing things, viewing things, knowing what people truly are and how people live in like this false illusion of self. And everybody wants to be like, I'm a good person, I'm a good person, I'm a good person. Nobody wants to admit when they hurt other people, even if it's unintentionally. People don't want to admit the wrong that they do, the ugly that shows up in their own personal character, and that's fine. But if you really saying that you healing and you a chosen one and you awaken and you going through all this, that, and the third, then you should be willing to say, you know what? I'm not always right, or I'm not always the good person. I'm not always doing the right things, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and check in and see. What the message really is or not. Ooh. Someone is very strong and authentic, stands in your power, knows how to tame your beast, and you are aware of your beast. We have the Three of Pentacles, so it could be something that could be happening at work. Some sort of truth reveal with the Ace of Swords, some sort of truths being spoken. Someone has a very, very sharp mind, very intellectual energy here. Could be a very different person. You could be someone who definitely speaks your mind passionately. You can come in very fast, passionate, fearless. Energy can be a little bit impulsive to others here. Maybe somebody doesn't take their time to get to know people. And the reason why I said workplace is because the pentacles. Okay, so something of in regards to some sort of finances, speaking some sort of truth, telling some sort of secrets or life plans and stuff to, you know, people that, you know, you may not see as being an op. We have a King of Cups because you have a big heart. You're very honest. Like I said, you're very honest. You're a good person. You're a good partner. But there's things that people look at that you do that is bad behavior. Okay. We have the Two of Swords. If somebody is very somebody doesn't know if they should cut certain behaviors out or keep them. It's a tough decision, especially if this is something that has been ingrained in you. You have to also review if this is like a trauma response. If you're working off of some sort of trauma wound, some sort of wounding from your past life, from your childhood. If it is, it needs to be healed and redirected so that way you can live a much fulfilling life. You can know this, but it can be very difficult to do. It's a very challenging thing to change or make changes in your life, especially if you've been dealing with certain things for so long. We have the Three of Swords. It's definitely something in regards to some sort of heartbreak, some sort of emotional pain, or maybe some sort of emotional unavailability. Grief, sorrow, pain, loneliness. Maybe there's and we got the 3 and 3. So something in the workplace didn't work out how you could have expected it to. I feel like, you know, you could possibly give a lot of people a lot of credit that they don't earn, okay? And it can cause a lot of trouble in your relationships, especially involving relationships with money. Something about having things progress over time when you began to share your truth, your life lessons. Yep, it's a devil. I feel like you speaking, or someone who is here who's speaking their truth. This is somebody who is in bondage. Okay, this is somebody who's attached to clarity, attached to changing people or the way people think, attached to something divine, something, but they're attached to it, and it's bringing out more harm than good. This is somebody who definitely needs to control their impulses to speak. So maybe whoever that person was that responded, they are holding on to some sort of attachment, and it has something to circulate around pain here. Okay, some sort of grief, and it could have happened in childhood, and it could have just implanted this demon could have implanted themselves on this individual here. Not so much saying that this person is wrong or bad, but they need to just learn how to have some sort of self-control when it comes to revealing certain emotional pain, maybe even in a workplace, like I said. But it's like somebody is definitely attached or bind to speaking the truth. Somebody can find themselves in a lot of abusive relationships. They can be tempted to repeat destructive patterns. Maybe because it's a urge to reveal the things that you just might not need to reveal. Yeah, it causes a lot of conflict. Being impulsive. So someone is being very impulsive. It causes a lot of conflict within a community where people are struggling for some sort of dominance or some sort of control back over their life here. A lot of chaos as well. tension. And I feel like somebody comes in so very passionately that they don't understand how they're coming out. You know, it's like somebody feels that they're not doing something wrong, but their intuition always advises them, like, you're about to create a mess. Like, it's like people try to warn this person, but this is somebody who is fighting against what the world is saying to do. Somebody needs to learn how to regulate their or balance out their emotions and their thoughts. It's like someone is not very safe emotionally, and they can find themselves in very safe situations, creating safe environments or spaces. And this is not to shame anyone, okay? It's just for everybody to know what they need to do for their own self-protection. We have the Hermits. Somebody could definitely be needing to go into some sort of isolation at this time to show themselves compassion and love, understanding that they do have good intentions, but it could be very harmful to others. They could be also being isolated from a group that they could have caused some sort of conflict and chaos unknowingly. There could have been some sort of attachment here, maybe even like a workplace affair here, where someone's truth was used against them to kind of bind them to some sort of negative feeling for them. I feel like someone has isolated themselves so that they can practice more self-care, so that way they can go within without being grief-stricken or angry. This is like somebody is bringing back balance, calmness to their own inner self. I feel like this is somebody who can possibly self-sabotage connections as well, especially the ones that they aren't really happy in. It's like their spirit tells them they gotta get, somebody has to get a hold of their own inner beast, their own inner demon, learn how to tame it. This could be very difficult for someone. We have the Nine of Pentacles. It's just a beautiful soul. Oh Lord. It's like once somebody makes a decision to be honest with themselves, how their behavior could be affecting their finances, their relationships, oh my God, I'm going to clarify this, Devil, because something just came. It's like there can be some sort of attachment that was placed there by someone, maybe like a mother figure could have placed some sort of attachment on someone to where they didn't want this person to be seen or loved or valued. So they put like this, ooh. Bottom of the deck is the King of Wands. You have, like, whoever this is has the ability to change their lives, lead their lives. This is somebody who can learn from, and I don't want to say their mistakes, I'm going to say their trauma responses, their ability to heal or identify wounds that they didn't know that they were currently operating in subconsciously. It was showing up consciously though, because somebody is very self-sufficient. Somebody is a peaceful energy, though it doesn't come off this way, because I feel like someone could have made peace with whatever this sorrow is, whatever this pain is. So it's like people will say, well, if they made peace with it, let's give them more of it. Let's give them more pain. Being that they're so strong. Like, people don't want to feel weak around other people. So they make the people who have already made peace with the chaos in their life feel isolated, even though someone is very mature and independent. Somebody may want to like connect on a deeper level, but it comes in very fast. It's like there's nothing wrong with the connection. It's just learning how to pace yourself, or learning when. We have triumph. So something somebody could have learned from a work environment is bringing them some sort of great some sort of great success. It says recognition and support around your accomplishments, boosting your confidence. You may not receive this publicly, but I feel like there's a lot of people who are cheering you on for walking away, maybe from an environment that no longer served you. We have achievement, good news, and winning. I feel like you can definitely be removing yourself from a place where it graduated you. You graduated from a cycle. Something that no longer works for you. But I feel like this needed to happen. Sometimes stuff be chaotic for a reason, so that way you can make choices to like move along, get out the way, clear your energy. Or maybe this just wasn't the environment for you. You know, right? It's interesting because everybody can be themselves except for the person who knows thyself, knows the pain that they go through, the suffering, the chaos, all these things. It's just like, but other people aren't ready to acknowledge that they are not good people. They just have good behavior at times and do good things at times. The Ace of Swords is the celebration with the Four Wands here. A special occasion calls for celebration, bringing joyful energy to home and community. We have harmony, homecoming, event, and party. I feel like, you know, someone made a decision to remove themselves or go back home. This is bringing a lot of happiness to someone. If it says success, I feel like you are going to become very successful when you go home. A homecoming. This is the breakthrough. All right, let's see. Knight of Wands. We have a momentum. You're definitely listening to your intuition with the Eight of Wands here. It says, this is a surge of energy. Events are moving at great speed, accelerating your progress. Sudden change, news, and swiftness. Yeah, sudden change. This energy, this passion. You're taking some sort of passionate progression or movement towards something that you know you needed to get done. Change of residence. You're moving. Somebody's definitely moving. Definitely moving. And quickly as well, like very quickly. This is King of Cups. You have action. You're taking action to more stability, being able to control your emotions. You're charging forward with purpose. Express your intentions confidently. Assertive, direct, ambitious, daring. I feel like you're protecting your heart at all costs. You're telling people what you are not going to tolerate. It's like you're not leaving anything to the imagination. And this is a part of your self-love and self-care and having some sort of emotional control. Because it's like somebody is not going to play with your feelings in silence. You're going to make it very clear because you know how it feels. It doesn't feel good at all. So you're going to still remain who you are here, collective, because you're not a bad person. You know, you can do bad things. And this might be the reason why, you know, you or this person who sees the world differently. They see it in their image. Wow. Somebody can get attacked a lot. We have curiosity because of their curiosity. The two of swords. We have the page of swords. This is a time of intellectual growth. Lean into the urge to explore, learn, and articulate. Inquisitive, vigilant, and communication. I'm telling you, you do not have a problem with communicating your thoughts and your feelings. I feel like, you know, you are at a crossroads of understanding that you are not maybe you're embracing your younger self, because you know how they say kids don't have no filter. You got to teach kids to have filter. You got to teach kids to lie, you know. You got to teach kids to say, don't say that, that's not nice, it's not, you know, you got to teach that. Maybe you at the point where you're like, F it, you have no filter. It's like a decision to deal with people who you got to have a filter with, or be by yourself. We have withdrawal with the three of swords. So this is the Three of Cups in reverse. So superficial connections no longer fulfill. Discern who really belongs in your life. I'm telling you, with the Three of Swords, it's like, you know what? Who you are have been labeled to be bad. For you to withdraw from the world, from you to withdraw exactly who you truly are, just for protection, just so that way you can have harmony in your relationships. And I feel like somebody gets disappointment all the time because they have to always wear a mask to have a fake group to celebrate them, to love them, to care for them. And somebody just doesn't want to do that anymore. I feel like somebody is definitely detaching from gossip. Okay, you could have been a real gossip king or queen. You could have learned just how to just gossip, knowing that it causes heartbreak, it causes grief, it causes separation, but it is somewhere where you're calling it out, okay? And this is what you're wanting to detach from, all right? It's very challenging. I love my dog. He loves to talk like me. We have heartbreak with the devil energy, the Three of Swords. You're suffering emotional pain, whether from heartbreak, betrayal, or facing a harsh truth. Sadness, ending, betrayal, grieving. You could be leaving or ending, or whoever this is could be breaking a cycle here. Okay? Breaking a cycle that you once believed to be true in this devil energy. Something about releasing your shadow self, okay? You could realize that a lot of your relationships were based around addictions, destructive patterns, obsessions, temptations. This could be breaking your heart, like finally recognizing the truth about the connections in which you were in, which is why you could be, again, detaching from these fake connections, these superficial connections that were never there to fully serve you, but to hinder you from being your true authentic self. Hmm. We have the crossroads again, the Two of Swords. Wow. So we have the Three of Swords. The Two of Swords came out twice. It says conflicted in pace and decision. A difficult decision lies ahead, but neither path offers certainty. It's like you damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you wear a mask, there's still going to be a bunch of competition and chaos and stuff, because it's always going to be somebody that's not going to be happy or thrilled with the things that you have sacrificed for them, because it's you sacrificing yourself, you know. So it's going to be a conflict or a chaos somewhere, whether you're going to have it within yourself or doing something that you don't really want to do for someone else, and for somebody seeing that you really don't want to do it, taking advantage of it and looking at you as if you the one that's causing the problem, or you the problem, or it's your fault. It's always going to be something here in this chaos and destruction. It's like something where you're just letting go. Okay. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're definitely at a crossroads. We have fantasy, the Seven of Cups. You are faced with numerous choices, but some may be illusions. Options, delusion, imagination. This is why somebody is being guided to actually go within to find some sort of enlightenment. 1 second, guys. All right, y'all. I'm back. All right, so yeah, I feel like somebody is definitely meditating, contemplating over different choices that they may have here. Somebody want to make sure that whatever they are meditating on isn't false. Okay, so whoever is going through the stage, you know, I feel like, you know, there's a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of choices that's going to be presented, you know, and you're just taking your time. Okay, you're taking your time. You're taking your time to filter out what's real and what's not. Okay. We have new beginnings with the Nine of Pentacles. I'm telling you, like, you don't have to change. You don't have to be someone you're not, okay? And yes, it's like who you are, you have to learn how to protect it, because you're not a bad person. And I said it, like, you're not a bad person. And I don't think that you wish bad things on people, but just because you don't, you have to start seeing reality, people for who they are, you know, what makes them uncomfortable. And people will find a way to make someone who's not doing anything to them the problem, because they are avoiding that part of themselves. So with the Ace of Wands here, it's saying you're at the threshold of a new venture. Your passion is the key to unlocking what's next. Giving birth, inspiration, and conception. With the Nine of Pentacles, this is something where you are about to see the fruits of your labor. By you staying true to yourself, you are about to see some sort of rewards come through here. The people who went up against you are now bickering with the Three of Pentacles in the reverse now at the bottom. So it started in the upright, right? You successfully walking your way, or finding out maybe it's always been this to begin with. There was a lot of disunity here. You had to follow your own. I feel like this was your protection, to remove yourself from something that you were not, that was causing delays, or there was no cooperation. There was a lot of disunity here. Yeah. It is what it is. I think this is always going to be the challenge. for humanity. Okay, don't expect anybody to change, especially if you aren't changing certain things about yourself. Don't expect other people to change. It doesn't matter how many times somebody is fed advice. It's up to them whether or not they want to take it or not. But it's like something about authenticity that can be very fierce to for someone. It's like someone doesn't want to put on a mask just to, feel safe and protected. It's like somebody is really a mirror to a lot of people that they encounter. And yeah. But there's nothing wrong with taking things slow, studying, just being compassionate, not throwing in other people's face what you are, where you at on your path and on your level or whatever. I made the mistake here, guys. Collect that, I made that mistake. I didn't know that it was a mistake at the time, but, after the fact, I was like, oh, shoot. That was kind of like bragging. Nobody likes somebody who brags about themselves all the time. Oh, introspection. I just seen introspection. Yeah, I did. I had to reflect. I had to go within. Do I like a bragger? Do I like someone who speaks about themselves all the time? What they've accomplished, what they didn't accomplish, what they did, No, I don't. It's very annoying. It's very annoying. I had found myself to be very annoying here, collective. All right. Let's see. That wants to come out. We have miracle. So it says miracle is a transformation that defies logic, shows you the infinite possibilities of the world. When a miracle appears, it reminds you to maintain faith, for anything is possible, and a miracle might be just around the corner. We have guilt. It says guilt is an unresolved emotional entanglement that makes you reflect on your actions. By letting go of guilt, you can achieve spiritual wisdom. Self-forgiveness is an important step toward inner peace. I feel like you just don't care no more. Like, you're not going to be guilty because, once again, you ran into a community or something that just doesn't want to understand you. But again, it was a learning lesson for you as well. Why hold on to it? Everybody learn from each other. Everyone learns from each other, and if you're open to learning from other people, and other people are not open from learning from you, then hey, it is what it is. But release guilt, especially if you feel like you've offended someone. We all get offended one way or another. Nobody does anything perfect. We have uncertainty. It says uncertainty is the feeling of not being able to foresee the future, bringing anxiety and unease. When uncertainty appears, it reminds you to embrace what cannot be controlled. Trust your intuition and courageously face the unknown challenges, for the future will gradually become clear. Okay, and I'm back. We have the final card of being gratitude. So this wasn't all for nothing. It says gratitude is an energy that attracts more abundance and joy. When you are grateful, you align your frequency with the universe. Let gratitude be a part of your life and remind you to focus on the beautiful things around you. All right. So again, all right. Sometimes we have to learn the hard way. Sometimes we realize that even with learning the hard way, there will always be something that you should feel grateful for. We have confidence. You could have built your confidence here, recognizing that you need to be who you are no matter what, authentically, even if it causes you to walk on a lighter path. Okay, yeah, it says confidence is the inner belief that you have the strength to face challenges. It's about trusting yourself and your abilities. When this card appears, it encourages you to take action, knowing you can overcome any obstacle. You can overcome any obstacle. 34 on the timer. As I said that, this is your message, guys. I hope that it resonated. Until next time, namaste.